Hey folks, we're all tuned in for another stream of this game. Good. Just making sure that's all working. It is. Now, it being several days since the last little install. Why isn't my oh, okay, that's why, because the doll's technically in dialogue.
Ah, I must have drifted off.
Notice the blackish
What
shadow
is
at
it
the
you
bottom of the screen.
desire?
That's what that be.
Farewell, good.
That's why I couldn't open my menu. Right, we have some weapons. We clearly haven't been down to Old Yarnum yet. It looks like we haven't even fought Gascoigne yet. Happy days. Level are we? 18. Vitality, endurance and skill. There's enough there that we should be able to defeat the Cloak Beast and Gascoigne without any drama. I'm going to be summoning in for the Gascoigne fight just for fun. Everyone pronounce Gascoigne okay here? Yeah, Gascoigne. Good, good. Right, let's get this done. Get this done and then head down into Old Yarnum. I don't know why I'm walking around up here for. I don't need anything up here. Have we spoken to Yusefka yet? Yes, we do. Yes, we did. And then there's no point speaking to any of the NPCs until we get up to the Great Bridge. Great Bridge. That screams to me, you've killed the Cloak Beast. Maybe I did. Besides, it's quicker to get to Gascoigne this way anyway. Just have some water. So yeah, 2019. This game came out a couple of years back now. The expansion, The Old Hunters, came out a couple of years back now. Since then we've had Dark Souls 3. I've been wrapped up in a little bit of For Honor. Dead Redemption 2 has pretty much taken over my life recently, but, you know, I appreciate this majestic game for what it is. A majestic, amazing piece of work. Should I kill the troll or should I run past him? Might as well kill him. Just for the record, I haven't played this game since my last stream. It's just obviously all my old skills have come back to me. So down there is Old Yarnum. You can pretty much almost see it in its entirety. So we go to the Odin Chapel, which is one of these spires here. That one just above the character's head there is the Hunter's Workshop. That's the word I was looking for. So that must be Odin Chapel there, this big spire here. But to be honest, it could be any of them. And then take some corridors down. You'll see when we get into Old Yarnum that the map, although it is interlocked, you can see where you're going and where you're coming from. Where you are coming from. The distance between here and there, when you're down there, looks a lot less than it is here. Because here, that's, you know, just below level that we're on, and that's miles up there. But when you're down in this section of the game, above the Hunter's Head now, that gap is tiny. So it's a little bit inconsistent, which is a bit of a shame. But I feel that they probably rushed a little bit, like this under the bridge there, that block of texture there. Why? Who knows? Because it's not there when we're down there. This is where our boss fight takes place, in that little dilapidated church there, which again is not to scale. The texture missing down there, just dropping off into the unknown. So I do wish that From would occasionally do a bit of R&R is probably the wrong expression. A little bit of upkeep, a little bit of maintenance. Having patched the game several times and then, you know, released the DLC. Obviously, the game's gotten a little bit buggy, and I really wish they'd sort of prepared something like that. Right, so if we run up here, we'll leave enough room that we can slip around these bags like that. Run up here. This guy takes damage from this. Lovely. Sometimes he dies, sometimes he doesn't. But now he's weak enough that I can just back. Oh, hello. Get bent. Don't often, nay, hardly ever do they run up here. But it's also quite rare that none of them take any damage from that big fireball either. Transform back to get shield guy. thing with a shield transform attack negates that. I don't know. When you do a transform attack, it just ruins their Dark Souls would be poised, but whatever. Right, let's go and say hello to Father Gascoigne. Steal these two up here first, because gamers are dumb. So, nice casual walk up to stuff these guys in a bit. Cool. Hop onto that guy, please. Thank you. I wasn't going to do that. And right. Stamina. See me through, please. No one dropping a blood echo. That's just blood echo. Bloodstone shard. That was rude. That was annoying. Not that I intend on using all these bullets anyway. Right, let's do us a little summons. Just make sure, even though I shouldn't, that I have no password set. Yep, cool, cool, cool. Let's see what we can see. Let's see how populated this game world is nowadays. I reckon we'll wait for a minute. Sneak attack is effective. Damn right, son. When you rate someone's I don't know about foul, but when you rate it positively, it will give them a chunk of health, if not refill the meter. I'm not exactly sure on the mechanic there. But long story short, I've had that happen to me where I've written a note and I've been in a boss fight and it's like, oh, need to heal in a sec, and then bing, someone rated one of my notes and allowed me to stay on the offensive. So that was lovely. See all these. Oh bless. That must be someone in New Game Plus. But also must be someone who doesn't know the moveset of that weapon, or someone being a bit cocky, because that was endgame armor, that was an endgame weapon. And you died. So if you tap circle and then immediately push the direction on the controller, oh, it's a bit hard to do, but you can time it so that you sort of do this crafty little jump backwards. It's quite good if someone thinks you're AFK and go for a little backstab, you can catch them off guard and mess them up a little bit. Oh, sadly, much to my displeasure, I need to go to the bathroom. For the international players out there, viewers out there, or the toilet, the bog. But it doesn't look like anyone's coming. Don't know what time it is elsewhere around the world, but clearly, if I get the insight back, yeah, no one's coming. So, ordinarily, there would be quite a lot of cheese going on in this boss fight, but I don't have the Hunter's Axe, so we'll just have to see how we get on. Recently, we've got content creators who have managed to hack into the game's files. Lance, a chap called Lance is one of them. So you can see hidden boss fights, hidden textures, hidden enemies. Yeah. Most recent one is where he's got free cam mode, so we can essentially just
beasts all over the shop.
Swing the camera around in the middle of cutscenes. So we can see that Gascoigne is chopping someone up, and then all of a sudden the enemy disappears. Spoiler alert. So I recommend checking out his content. Right, let's get our backsides handed to us by Father Gascoigne. So this is a very popular cheese. Oh, I made him scream, poor lad. Jordan says, ha, jinx. Yeah. Anyway. Oh,
what's that smell? The sweet blood. Oh,
let's get this weapon extended, and let's just
it's enough to make a man sick.
And now he's extended his weapon. Always dodge to the side, never dodge backwards, unless your character is... unless your enemy just moves. Let's try... Whoop! Shot me through the tombstones, naughty. I don't think this weapon will be effective, but even if I... Ooh! naughty. That dodge. Just out of range, thank God for that. The old charged R2. Yeah, so the damage I'm doing versus the damage he's doing is negligible. Maybe let's bust one of these out. Oh, my head! Oh, poor Gascoigne. Getting some licks. Oh, naughty. Shite. I don't know how he missed that axe strike. Oh shit. Usually try not to swear too much, but that's clearly not going to prevail. Naughty. Come on. Yay. Right. Now it's time for big scary Gascoigne. Oh, not quite, it seems. Now? There we go. Right, right. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh, now it's taking effect. A couple of them. One of these. One of those. Oh. And we're done. Am I happy with that? Yeah? Yeah, I think that went pretty well. Hello, cat. Right, we're not going to return to the dream just yet. Just occurs to me I didn't pick up the torch. But it's surplus to requirements, that's fine. On the way up here, there is a corpse. It's very sad. What does this say? Nothing but madness here. You're damn right, son. We have a unique corpse here. The red jeweled brooch, however you'd like to pronounce it. We are going to very quickly select the item description for you. Is there any of you that want to read this can pause it? Interesting that viola is the name of the instrument. Just calling her cello or violin wouldn't have made any sense. Yeah, just an observation there for you. Anywho, we smash that, and that gives us this bad boy. Let's disappear into a different menu over here. Again, those of you that want to see this, pause it. But essentially it's just a nifty little early weapon modifier essentially. Upgrade the weapons. Let's have a look in here. You can see in the middle column, top left, a funny jagged shape there. There's different kinds of blood gem slots. Which point you put things into weapons and it modifies them. To do that, upstairs in a chest here is the tool we require to do that in the workshop. Blood gem workshop tool. Just because I like to look super duper cool. Anyway, in we go. Eyes on the bottom right for the chapel dweller. Can't remember if he has a proper name or not, but little dude in here that's really helpful. Here he is. It's nice to the coffee. Sadness. What do you call him? Dong. Pretty sure that bell tolling is consistent across anyone that's playing online, and that signifies when someone does make it here or not. That is funny. Anyway. There we go. Yeah, something to note as well, if you get a bit mucky and you don't like it, you just... As long as this is still the case, unequip and re-equip your armour again, and oh, it's clean! Brilliant.
Waiting for anyone? Yo, tell him who's for it. I know what if
So, there's quite a lot of there's a word. What we're going to do is we are going to, because we need to reload the areas essentially, we're going to go back to the dream, level up, and then start from the beginning and work our way back through Century Island very quickly, just to pick up the NPCs that we should have encountered by now. Sorry, that was a stretch. I love the fact that it's brought up Henrik. Those of you might want to pause this and read it. The whole reason I have to start this little playthrough again is because one of the quest lines went drastically wrong, and
Welcome. What?
sadly that's one of the
Very
quest lines I
well
really
led.
enjoy in the game, so that forced me to restart. Sad times. Now, what do we need going forwards? The build I'm doing here is going to be skill and arcane based, with enough blood tinge to use. Actually, don't need any blood tinge, so we'll just leave that there, I think. I only use the pistol to get people's attention, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? Essentially put them, riposte, put them into that stagger where you can critical, but there are arcane weapons further down the line that allow us to do that. I think I'll put 2 in arcane for now, just because I believe we've got enough vitality and skill to get us through Old Yharnam quite comfortably. And then every beast that we kill down there will be enough to then buff those up ready for the boss fight at the end. And obviously item discovery is going to prove to be quite important later. Minimum arcane I recommend for anyone playing the game is 15, just so you can use some hunter tools. Those of you that don't use the, essentially this version of the Dark Souls Force Miracle, which I believe is like Beast Raw, I think. But essentially you get like a little beast hand that you can use. Don't ask. I'm not gonna, yeah, bye-bye. Not gonna crack open any. What's the word I'm looking for? So yeah, the stats on the left. The blue ones essentially are what this blood gem is gonna do to my weapons. Never played this game with headphones on before, but I can actually hear German just breathing. How unnerving.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight.
Students are out of their beds.
If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits,
You
seek
kill my cat!
a holy chalice,
Bit of Harry Potter reference
as
there for you
every
kids.
hunter before you has,
Such
where hunters partake in communion.
good little voice acting from German there. Yeah, I'm gonna purchase all of Gascoigne's armour for this upcoming area. It's not compulsory, but I tend to collect it throughout the course of the game anyway. The only one I need to collect after this is Henrik's. Spoiler alert, gonna kill him. But on a normal playthrough I'd ignore Gascoigne's anyway and just go straight for this one. The reason being is most of your damage stats, the damage reduction stats, are negligible, but the slow poison, rapid poison, frenzy and beasthood stats are the ones that are quite important. So ultimately I would sort of purchase this armour instead of go full Gascoigne, but you know, when in Rome. You know. Also this will be valuable for a quest line that's coming up shortly. So screw it. Technically all I needed to buy was this chest piece, but we'll go with the whole thing. Because why not? Don't need to go to the first floor sick room, because there's no one down there I need to speak to, but Central Yharnam. That's where we'll start this part of the quest. I need to speak to 3 NPCs, give them some information, and then reload the area. I'll probably just come back to the dream and go back again. Because there's one last little bit to deal with. It's a bit sad and it's a bit tragic. So those of you that want to skip that part, nothing graphic or anything on the screen or anything, just a little bit of sadness. Gilbert, not getting better.
You needn't concern yourself with me.
Well, I do, buddy.
I'm afraid
Good lad.
I'm of little help now.
It's true.
But before I did this,
How he gets that out the window, I'll never know.
I made no use of it, but perhaps you
To be fair,
stream home. I can even
die human. Sadly, Gilbert, I don't want to let you down or anything, but nope. I am going to equip this. Never actually use it, but if I get into a bit of a problem in Old Yarnum, got some. Don't need to go this way. I don't know why I'm heading down this way at all. Yeah, if I get into any trouble in Old Yarnum, I can just use the old flame sprayer to get myself out of it. So, believe it or not, I am world famous in this game. I'm not. I am the chap that, upon release of the update in the DLC, one of the weapons you get is a minigun. Now, as you can see, every shot in this game, every bit of stuff for you there. A bit of backstory. Go into that in a bit. I'm the chap that discovered that they reduced the bullet cost for using the flame sprayer in line so that you can use the oh my lord, words are escaping me today. Clearly not very good at multitasking. Right. Damn. Who's going to jump out of that cage? You? No, good. You see that sometimes after an enemy is clearly dead, I'll keep attacking because the regain mechanic still works at that point. How did I get 2 hits in on them? Weird. Anyway. Yeah, just go to the toilet. There's a dog round here, by the way. Heads up. Why there's loads of dogs in cages here? Couldn't tell you. But yeah, so Gilbert has a sad ending to his quest. Old lady in here that just kicks off about shit. It's just whinge.
Our bird I have. Well, if you're so what will it be? Are you going to tell me?
Yes, I'm going to tell him. So to go to Erdon Chapel.
Well, don't you have one?
Clearly, you should have had 2 options there, so I have not successfully spoken to Yosefka, so I need to do that. But I'll do that in the next bit. Quickest route to where I need to be is... Quickest route is... Stop saying that in a minute, I promise. Quickest and safest route is this way. In terms of hassle from enemies, it's this way. Could easily just go up this house and run along, but then I'll have to kill those werewolf doggies and I can't be bothered. So I'd rather just go this way. Now the lift's not here, but this guy won't come into this lobby. Can barely even get down the stairs. Oh, sort of flickered in and out of existence then, poor fella. A rough start to any day, I think. Be careful with the lifts. I have glitched through the door and the lift. It just drops into infinity for a couple of minutes. That was a funny time. Things casually covered in blood. So what we're going to do is... Ooh, nearly fell off the thing. Just quickly leg it down here. Oh, you have to hold down and press circle. Annoying. And we are going to run all the way through here and go up the ladder and go, you little bitch! It's always good about taking a break from a game like this. You get all kinds of stuff. Little messenger-esque dude there. It's funny how they're dotted about through the game, but technically they shouldn't be, in a way. Can't heal on a ladder. Boring. All you gotta do is stab yourself in the thigh with a syringe. It's not terribly complicated. I don't know why they left such a big gap between the ladder and the end of the wall. Just encourage you to fall off, I think. Ooh. Come on, buddy. Swing. Took a bit of damage, but we'll get it all back here. Don't fall through the floor. Good. Whilst we're climbing, we'll have a look at this. In the top right, the Cowl Rune effects. Essentially, those are your ring slots, essentially. You can only change them in the dream, though. You can't... No, I can't punch them, I'm sorry.
Okay, but maybe my waiting for me to... What do you think?
It's possible. I mean, tell the Erdon Chapel.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. I love you almost as much as Mum and Dad. And Grandad.
Grandad is Henrik. Can't confirm. So Henrik was Gascoigne's hunting partner. They go out as a gruesome twosome and smash things to death. Henrik goes mad, partly because Gascoigne's dead, and then partly because, so skip this, it's a bit dark, this young lady will die. She'll fall victim in the sewers to the pig at the end, on her way up to Erden Chapel. Now we need to reload this area, because she needs to make that fateful journey, but she won't move until after we cleared the area. I mean, I would just suicide. It's a bit dark. I would just essentially game over screen and do it that way, but I can't be bothered. Could use a bold hunter mark. That should be enough to restart. Yeah, because then I'll respawn at the lamp that I just used, then we'll go down and see Sepka, because she's been replaced, quote unquote, by the she's been replaced by the imposter at this point. The only piece of evidence against my imposter, you know, Sepka just going crazy theory, is the fact that the little alien standing right by the door, when you do creep around the back entrance, has Sepka's blood vial, that's the word I was looking for. But it pops up later in the game as well somewhere, rather peculiarly. So this is what would in effect. So this will be the first time speaking to this NPC. You see this time she has, there you go, so she's got this weapon in her hand. It's transformed state? Or is it? No, it's like that, it's just pointing towards the door. Anyway.
Oh, well, hello.
Different voice actress.
Splendid. You're soon off to then tell them to see upon my sick this time. I'll even offer, well.
So yeah, she's essentially saying, send people to me, I'm going to mess them up, but I'll reward you for it. Send them to the chapel. Because before you New Game Plus, anyway, you get more from sending them to the chapel. If you are going to New Game Plus, then definitely send them to the chapel first, and then send them to your Sepka in the second playthrough, because, well, just trust me. Upset I didn't open that gate. From here, we can see yeah, little building down there, little building there. Don't think we can get to that area where the trees are. But yeah, I mean, just the simple fact that this game, I mean, obviously all the game worlds in Dark Souls are interconnected. Dark Souls 3, after the first boss fight? Just trying to think if he technically is the first. No, he's not. That's Edek's Gundu. And then is it Wart of the Boreal Valley? Wart of the Boreal Valley? After him, when you're standing there waiting for the demons to carry you down, you get to look upon the world and see that it's all there. And I love the fact that Yharnam is interconnected like that. Obviously, when you so quickest, safest way, probably again is that way, but we won't. We'll go this way because why not? These little dudes in the chairs, a really good source of quicksilver bullets. Always have some. I don't have a lamp. Makes me sad. Just use the flamethrower in the dark room just for banter. So you'll notice when I hold it down, the tick value of the quicksilver usage is quite slow. Oh. So yeah, it's really slow. So yeah, I was the first one to notice that, and that would obviously bring it in line with the usage of the. Yeah, he did. Cannon that you can use. Just gonna, again, just cheese these guys in the doorway, because why not? The only thing you have to watch out for is the fact that they whoop. Lockdown sometimes is a sack of bags. Yeah. Two. Oh. Cool. Shite. Okay. Naughty, naughty, very naughty. So rusted. Should I use a Molotov? Nah, just kill these guys the old-fashioned way. This is quite a cool charge. Second charge attack on the transform version of the spear. If he does that, and they get the timing just right, he can throw himself through that doorway. Happens once or twice. If we go this way, we have to deal with obviously all these turds up here. To be honest, I don't think... Hey buddy, there was someone else playing the game somewhere then. If we run around... Did I pick this up? Oh, I did. Okay, cool. We'll get the torch before we leave this part of Yarnum. 2,000. I can't remember how many echoes I need to level up. No, thank you. Pooch. Dog over there. Still got the flame sprayer. That's it. Boom. Come on in, Dick. Come on. Come on. Come on. That was annoying. Ooh. So, now that he's naughty, let's cheat and just get right out of range of all the attacks. The dog will come up the stairs first. Bet you it doesn't now that I've said that. Gonna heal, just want to get caught short. Come on, doggy! You know where I am, come on. Oh, hello! He doesn't always come up here, but sometimes he does. It's awfully exciting. Shit. That should have definitely stopped him. Yeah, no, calling the reinforcements, mate, do it. So for some reason, these poor enemies perceive you to be a beast, and I think... Crap. Shit. That's where it's all going wrong. Naughty. There we go, that makes up for the fact that I just took a hell of damage. It was worse than the bloody gas comet fight. Alright, she is not there. She is not there because she's gone from there. Spoilers. Right, so he came up to get me, so that means that these items are now free to collect. One of them is a torch, the other one is the Molotov cocktails. Handy for the boss fight that obviously logically you would have explored this area before you went to kill Gascoigne. There's an item. Oil urns augment the damage output of the Molotov cocktail, but also flame sprayer. So soak people in oil and then burn them alive. Quickest way to get to the piggy technically isn't this way, but I'm just going to do it just because I can. You can jump off here and do a falling attack on this guy, but can't be bothered. Just going to see if I can drag him over to this ladder and potentially fall down, because that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Ooh. Is he following? No. Fine. Don't have to come with me. You can stay out there if you want, mate. Right, falling off there would have killed me. Running off here is okay. So, we're going to go on underneath the base. Should we run down by the pig? Yeah, screw it, doesn't matter. If I can't kill this pig, I'll be very upset. You can obviously go up and around. Backstab? Nope. There we go. And... Yep. Someone obviously thought that was hilarious. So obviously the first drop is just what the pig would normally drop. And then to pick up an item, red messenger ribbon. That corpse is always there on the floor, so ignore that. Where are we looking? Here. This item wasn't here before, because I've definitely killed this pig because all these items have been looted already. Yarnum Hunter there. Obviously that's the armor set that I haven't purchased yet. And then just some other victim. It's not the victim, it's like blood was splashing up from it, it's just the water. If you run all the way to the end, which I think the pig's supposed to scare you and it charges after you, that's just a bottomless pit, you die. Simple. So there's a closer look at the you know, I think because this game would have gone through various, you know, redesigns along the way, that is the boss fight room. There. So close yet so far away. The architecture and the geography isn't quite exact, but you know, rough approximation. Really need to go to the toilet in a minute, so I might even end this part of the stream. How exciting. Can't bother to deal with those guys, can't bother to deal with these guys. Don't think anyone can make it up. Sweet, so those are the people on the bridge that got hit by the rolling thing. Don't think their enemies can enter the boss room. Just a simple coding thing, just to stop them doing so. Anyway. Covered in blood. So yeah, sadly, poor little Gascoigne's daughter was looking for a mother, and looking for a father, and obviously I didn't tell her, you know, your dad killed your mum and then I killed your dad. It said, yep, safe place is up here, because this is a safe place. Matey boy up here tells you it's a safe place. And I'm telling you that if you send them to Yusefka, they're not going to make it.
Oh, thank you. To that old girl, well, she don't offer me much in the way of... I'd rather see her alive, anyhow.
Yeah.
If you find...
Several gestures, several... let's give it you. Yay! Just do that, screw it. Quicker animation. Can't roll out of animations in this game, so that's really lame. So she's up here now. This is the old lady from the...
Oh no, I haven't forgotten.
She looks like a chicken.
Do you think I owe you something?
She looks like a turkey.
Well, that's a fine lark. This blood, don't you...
This game does chronologically take place over the course of one night. One very mystical and messed up night, not one literal 24-hour cycle, because that's just ridiculous. So these guys, they look like what I would imagine the Thumerians are supposed to look like in the dungeons, the side quests of the game. We'll deal with him in a second. I just want to kill this bird, because it tends to go for a wander. There's an item in the corner. I recommend getting it now whilst it's only the birds here, rather than later when something else is here. So yeah, as long as you're not damaged after taking your initial damage, you can regain. Cool. So, there is something. Oh, you've come down for a look ski, have you? Go on then, mate. Naughty. But yeah. So sometimes it's worth taking that here, if you can set up one of these correctly, because then, you know, haven't lost any health. I've actually gained some quicksilver bullets for it and some blood echoes. So we're close to another level up. I'm going to quickly run down here to collect some items that are very just here. A little naughty, I thought he was going to sort of gesture first. Can't bother to fight him, so to be honest, can't be bothered to do this whole area yet. So we're just going to collect you. We're going to run around here, collect this. This thing that happens here killed me once upon a time. And I was like, what the hell? The game's just broken and scooped me up into here and killed me. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. These guys can't come in here because of the incense. That is the in-game story. Why the beasts, enemies and etc. See the big sensor there? Sensor's probably the wrong word. Not particularly of religious thing, but there's loads of, you know, fragrances burning in here. Loads of blah blah blah. So that's why you notice all the NPCs have got red lamps outside their doors. It keeps all the beasts away. For example, deal with anyone else that would interact with it. Alright, doll is up here. And she's not down there, she's up here. Oh, yeah, there she is. Alright, so here's a bit of backstory for you.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
What is it you desire? I don't know.
Over time, countless hunters have visited this dream. It all seems so
I skipped a bit there by
very
accident. My
well.
apologies.
Let me.
We will chuck endurance brings up your poison resistance. We'll do one in there. That should leave us enough to 500 pieces, 1500, and then 1000 for the last bit. Is usually how much the I've only got one bloodstone shard. How sad. Don't have the tool for that, but there's a future boss fight coming up that does.
And the few were lost, but if one yet it was better.
Descend. Yeah. Basically, at some point you'll urge us to go to Old Yarnum to find the way down there, which is quite easy to do. You just have to dig around. So, messengers. If I was to leave a, sure. If I was to leave any messages. Messages look plain to begin with, or you can give them accessories, which is this one. They'll drop out and then they'll come back up with red bows on their heads. Aww. Bless them. But obviously that's quite sad because that's Gascoigne's daughter. She was wearing a bow. Youngest daughter specifically, because there is another daughter kicking about in the game somewhere. We will find her and I'll show you that shortly. I don't know why I went that way to get to here. Yeah, 500 and 1000. So we will purchase this just for the fashion later in the game, because fashion is important. But also we can compare who's got the better poison resistance. So Gascoigne here. That's the wrong one. We haven't purchased this yet. This is the other hunter set. It's basically this without the big black cloak on top. Top part's different obviously, but gauntlets are exactly the same as you can tell them. Gascoigne has the better resistance there, and surprise surprise, Gascoigne's got the better resistance there. Concludes the stream for today. I'll be back on when I next get a chance. Adios.